week 5 of Percussive Storytelling live. It rhymes, 5 and live. From my beautiful, enchanting living room. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Corey.
Hi, Corey.
And I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the cymbal with your left foot. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the tambourine with your right foot. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the drum with your left hand. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the blocks with your right hand. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the crasher with your right hand. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. Have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. She said, so hit the bells with your right hand. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. Then hit the shakers with your left hand. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. Then please go a little faster. You ready? Oh, yeah. Hi, my name is Corey, and I work in a drum factory. I have a wife, 2 kids, and a dog. One day my boss said to me, she said, Corey. I said, yeah. Are you busy? I said, nah. And please go a little faster. Hi, my name is Corey. Yes. Yes, I am busy. Whew. There we go. So, what's my name?
Corey.
Corey. Thank you. Yeah, very nice, Oren. My name is Corey, and I have a wife, I have 2 kids, and I have a dog. For those of you who have joined me all throughout this, you've heard all about my silly dog and crazy children. One sitting right there. But you also know that I don't really work in a drum factory. That is my introductory story I love to tell because it introduces percussive storytelling. And in my factory, which is my garage, that's where I come up with these stories. So first off, I want to tell you what makes a percussion instrument. A percussion instrument, some of you know this, some of you may just be joining us. So this is a magic stick. And the stick goes up, and the stick goes down, and then it makes a sound. Anything you hit with something else to make a sound is a percussion instrument. So the blocks, percussion instrument, the bells, percussion instrument, the picture frame, percussion instrument, the fish tank, Percussion instrument. Can I use your head? No. Okay. My head. Ooh, definitely a percussion instrument. But I don't just play these instruments, I tell stories at the same time. And that's what makes it percussive storytelling. So I have 4 stories for you total today. As we go, I want you to send in questions, send in comments. I will give shout outs. Those cost money though, like $1,000 a shout out, something like that. Yeah, or 10,000. It's up to you, really. I mean, why stop there? How about $100,000 per shout out?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
1,068.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Oren has to, he eats a lot of grapes. And so we have to, pay for his grape consumption. 99 cents a pound. He eats a lot of grapes. I want to tell you about these instruments. And so these instruments here are called blocks of wood.
Wood blocks.
Wood blocks. Great name for blocks of wood, right? What do you think they get out of wood?
Wood.
Very good. These are bells that come from cows, otherwise known as cowbells. Because they're made out of cows. They're made out of cow. Why are they made out of metal? If they're called cowbells,
I don't know.
then they should be made out of cows, right, Weber? Weber, I know you're watching. Weber, are these made out of cows? He said yes. Okay, they're made out of metal. We have this shaker, and it's called a shaker because you
Shake it.
Very good.
Make it.
This is a drum. This is my orange drum. I spray painted it orange because I like the color, and I like that it was very bright. Here we have castanets, and these castanets are typically played with your hands like this while you dance. It's a Spanish instrument, typically a flamenco dance. I am not going to dance for you, although I can do stuff from TikTok if you want.
Okay, do it.
I could do like the little like dun dun dun,
Fine, do
renegade it up. It's early in the morning. Oh yeah.
Fine, do it.
I just did it. But these castanets are pretty cool. This here is a very strange instrument called a ribbon crasher. It's basically just a bunch of metal on top of metal. And then we have the tambourine down here and the cymbals right here. So those are the instruments from Drum Factory. As I mentioned before, please send in comments, questions, because this is a virtual show. And so at times it can be difficult to have a conversation when you're talking to a screen. But if you have questions or comments or something that you want to know more about, I'm happy to answer them. I did want to make an announcement about one of the winners from last week. I told you guys to send me in your biggest Abiyoyo monster face, like the giant. And we had some awesome submissions, including an amazing one from Marcello and Georgia. Woo! You are the winner. So what I love most about that picture is that Marcello was giving a mean face, like a giant, like a raw face, but smiling at the same time. And then Georgia, his little sister, was clearly just giving the mean face. Like, it was awesome. I was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, a little scared. So nice job, Marcello and Georgia. Very nice work. Well, we have a percussion ensemble from Atholton High School in Maryland. It's such a merry land. That's on the other side of the country. Is that cool, Laura? He didn't make a comment. Sorry, Atholton Percussion Ensemble. He was not impressed that you were from Maryland. And I think it's time for a couple of jokes before I move on. Oren, how do fish pay their bills?
I don't know.
With sand dollars.
I don't get it.
Sand dollars?
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one. And what do cats put in their milk?
I don't know.
To make it colder.
I don't know.
Mice cubes.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a groaner. That's definitely a groaner. Okay, So speaking of Abiyoyo and speaking of the stories today, I wanted to tell a few stories that are kind of related in a way with the instruments and also the kind of story. So this next story is called Abiyoyo. I know I did it last week, but the story after that will be Eddie Coochie Catcha, and then one after that is Tikki Tembo. So if you came to hear Tikki Tembo, everyone's favorite story, I am making you wait to the end. But Abiyoyo is fantastic. It's a story about a giant who kind of wreaks havoc in this town, and a boy and his father who save the day with, tools of their trade. A toy piano and a magic wand. And this story is a South African folk tale that was popularized by the one and only Pete Seeger, who came up with a bit of a melody that he played on the banjo and sang. And that's what I have to teach to you. And those of you who joined in last week, might remember this, but if not, let's learn it together. This is my toy piano. And here we go. Abiyoyo, 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 yo yo yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo. That's the Abiyoyo song. And now this song comes back in the story a number of times, as well as some other audience participation. So if you are watching and I call on you to scream, Isaac, Lexi, Pup, I want you to scream. I want to hear you. Yeah. Anyone watching on a street nearby, I want to hear you. Or those of you across the country in Philadelphia, New York, Virginia, Maryland, California, Oregon, Washington, wherever. And apparently there's a whole family who's been watching every week from the Cayman Islands. Whoever you are, please send me a message because I really want to know who you are. Sing this song, sing it loud. It starts with the song. Abiyoyo, 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 yo yo yo, yo yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo yo, yo yo. Well, once upon a time, a boy and his father lived in a small town at the foot of the tall hills. The boy played the toy piano and would go all over town, plinking and dinging and ringing his toy piano. Well, the townspeople grew annoyed at the boy and his toy piano. Get that thing out of here, they'd say. Can't you see we're trying to work? Well, the father was a trickster with a magic wand. All he had to do was wave his magic wand, and zoop, zoop, things disappeared. He'd wait for somebody about to sit down in a nice, comfy chair. And zoop, zoop, the chair disappeared. He'd wait for somebody about to drink an ice-cold glass of water. And zoop, zoop, the glass vanished. Well, the townspeople grew annoyed at the father and his magic wand. Get that thing out of here, they'd say. Can't you see we're trying to work? Well, the boy and his father were banished to live at the far end of town. Well, in this town, they told stories. They told stories about the giants who lived in the tall hills. They told a story about a giant named Abiyoyo. Well, they said Abiyoyo was as big as a house with great long teeth. One morning, the sun rose blood red over the tall hills. The townspeople awoke to see a great big shadow looming over the sun. The ground began to shake. Children screamed. Oh, nice one. Grown men fainted. Beware, they said, it's Abiyoyo! And Abiyoyo ran to the sheep pasture, picked up a whole sheep, and chomped, ate the sheep up. Abiyoyo ran to the cow pasture, picked up a whole cow, and chomped, ate the cow up. Run for your lives, shouted the townspeople. Well, just then the boy and his father stepped outside, having heard the townspeople yelling. And it was just in time to see Abiyoyo rumble by on his way into town. Who's that? Asked the boy. Why, I believe that's Abiyoyo, replied an astonished father. Abiyoyo, gasped the boy. Oh, what do we do? The father thought, and he said, if only I could get him to lie down, I could make him disappear. The boy's face lit up. Come with me, father. And the boy grabbed his toy piano. The father grabbed his magic wand, and they ran into town after Abiyoyo. Well, as they ran, the townspeople said, don't go near Abiyoyo, or he'll surely eat you up. But the boy and his father marched right on up to the giant. Abiyoyo glared down at them. He had long fingernails because he never cut them. He had stinky teeth because he never brushed them. He had smelly feet because he never washed them. Abiyoyo raised his claws as if to strike. But just then the boy pulled out his toy piano and sang. Abiyoyo, 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 yo yo yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo yo. Well, Abiyoyo had never heard a song about himself before. A foolish grin appeared on his face, and wouldn't you guess it, but Abiyoyo started to dance. So the boy kept going. Abiyoyo, 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 yo yo yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo. The boy went faster. Abiyoyo, 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 yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo. Faster and faster still. Abiyoyo, 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 yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo 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 yo. Last guess, Abiyoyo got out of breath, staggered, and fell to the ground. The father leapt in front of Abiyoyo, pulled out his magic wand, and zoop, zoop, Abiyoyo disappeared. The townspeople cheered. Woo! Yay! And lifted the boy and the father up on their shoulders. They said, come back to town. Bring your toy piano. Bring your magic wand. And they all sang, Abiyoyo, 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 The end. Such a nice story. I'm going to work on setting Abiyoyo Part 2 because Pete Seeger and some others came up with the return of Abiyoyo, where the town ends up needing Abiyoyo's help. So they bring him back and they find a way for him to live in the tall hills and also not bother the town. So that's Abiyoyo told on 2 drums and a toy piano. Such a great story. All right, you guys have any questions so far? Let's see here. I got a lot of hand waving, a lot of hello, 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 hello. I'm here, I'm here. Oh. Okay, we have a joke from Jonah. What do you get when two giraffes collide? A giraffic jam. Okay. Yeah. Well played, sir. That is a good one. Okay. How about this? What sound do porcupines make when they kiss?
I don't know.
Ouch! Ouch! Because they're porcupines? No? Oh, come on. Why was the tree excited for the future? As it was ready to turn over a new leaf.
I don't get it.
You don't get it? A new leaf. It's a new season. What do cowboys like on their salad? Ranch dressing. Hey, Oren he's like, no. Apparently these are not landing. I can't hear Colt and Bo laughing from their house, or who else? The Appleton Percussion Ensemble is probably thinking, what in the world is going on right now? So those are two stories for you, Drum Factory and Abiyoyo. I am going to shift over to another story that I actually did for the first time. Yeah, thanks, Oren. Go for it.
Stop soon.
Keep going. You got it, man. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yes. Thanks, Oren. Good job, bud.
Thanks.
We lost one of our union workers. My 10-year-old decided, I think she's retiring for a bit. Before I get to this story, though, I have to show you some of these instruments, because I've been getting most of the comments and questions from you guys centers on what's that instrument, or how do you find that, or why are you playing a rubber chicken? Good questions. So I brought a couple of, let's just say, more random instruments out to show you that percussion isn't just playing the drums or crashing the cymbals or hitting the bass drum, right? We actually do a little bit of odd sounds. So here's my hamburger. Here's my chicken. And they have a conversation. Like, don't eat me, or don't put me into a chicken burger, or I used to be a cow, right? And then all of a sudden the cow comes, and then he's the hamburger, and the chicken's like, yes, sometimes I do play with squeaky toys, or a Viking horn, and a train whistle.
That's actually pretty good.
And an Acme slide whistle.
Oh, I played that.
So for all the kids watching who are like, whoa, I don't know if I can be a percussionist because it just looks so serious all the time. Yeah, I get to do that too for a living. Yes, fun with instruments. All right, this story and the next story are very related. This one's called Eddie Cutcha Catcha, and the next one is called Tikki Tikki Tembo. Now, most of you know Tikki Tikki Tembo. It is about a boy, two boys, brothers, who each get trapped in a well. And then because one of the boys' names is so long, Tikki Tikki Tembo, No Saw Rimbo, Charibar Rikji, Pitberry Pimbo, it takes a while for him to get rescued from the well. And that story is an old Chinese folktale that's been dated for almost 2,000 years. It's just been passed down and passed down. But then in the United States, a gentleman named Pete Seeger, you remember from writing Abiyoyo, he and his family are very important in sort of finding all of these American folk tales and songs from the Appalachian region of our country, which would be in places like West Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia, to where the Appalachian Trail kind of goes up. And these stories are amazing. And one of them is actually about a boy with a long name who gets trapped in a well. Eddie Cutcha Catcha Canatosin Nanatosin Nogasama Kamawaki Brown. Okay? Now, I know, it's a little crazy. Like, wait, how in the world did Tikki Tikki Tembo and Eddie Cutcha Catcha, like, how are they both existing and there's a well? this is the beauty to me of these stories. A story exists in one culture, and then another culture sees it and adapts it to its own. So Eddie Cutcha Catcha is my first go-through of a boy getting trapped in a well. And I will play after that Tikki Tembo, which is another version of a boy trapped in a well. Apparently, maybe I have a fear of wells. I'm not sure, but maybe I need more stories about wells. So this name, Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. I think you will know it by the end. So here we go. Here's a story about a boy named Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who fell into the well, fell into the deep, dark well. Susie Jones, milking in the barn, told her mom and said that she saw him fall. Oh my gosh, I messed that up. Can you believe that? Susie Jones, milking in the barn, saw him fall and ran to tell her mom that Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Fell into the well, fell into the deep, dark well. Mrs. Jones, making cracker bread, picked up the phone, called her pa, and said that Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Fell into the well, fell into the deep, dark well. Old Farmer Jones, planting in the sun, sent it to the nearest town to tell everyone that Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Fell into the deep, dark well. To the well, everybody ran, forming a long chain and lending a hand so that Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Climbed out of the deep, dark well. For 3 long weeks, he stayed in bed, and from that day on, he was known as Ed, not Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Who? Eddie Cutcha Catcha Kama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Kama Wacky Brown. Boom! There we go. Sorry, I got tongue-tied on that one.
I love that one.
It's a good one. Woo! It happens. I think I need a few more espressos to get going. So that is Eddie Cutcha Catcha, about a boy falling into a well, needing help to get out of the well, but his name was quite long. Now, what I also like about this story is something that I've been trying to do more and more, is use instruments that are representative of the stories I'm telling. So a story from a certain part of the world would use percussion instruments or sounds that are found there. Now, I'm not totally there yet, but I'm working on it. And so this particular story, coming from the Appalachian region, found objects is quite a part of the culture and the music. They didn't necessarily have really fancy violins or, you know, in the classical tradition, the instruments, most of them were handmade or forged on their own or sort of found and repurposed or recycled. And so I'm mimicking that a little bit here. I'm using a washboard. This used to be to wash your clothes, but it has a pretty wicked sound. And then I have a block here. That's just a block. And then I have these 3 blocks that I want to replace with something that is a little more representative. But then I have these other instruments, a frying pan, with the handle cut off, a piece of random metal sculpture thing, and some bells. Basically, old cowbells that you would find around a farm or hanging from outside the house, something like that. And so by putting this stuff together, I'm trying to make a sound world that kind of connects. And so that was my goal for Eddie Cutcha Catcha. I tried to treat it like they were typing his name on a typewriter. Eddie Cutcha Catcha Cama Tosta Nana Tosta Noka Sama Cama Wacky Brown. And then when you get to the end of the typewriter, the line, you hear a ding, and then you have to whoosh, throw it back to the other side to type it again. And that's pretty much where my creative process started, was thinking of how I could show that name using instruments. So let's see here. Do we have any questions? Anyone have any questions at all? Life questions, general questions, before I get to this final story that is apparently my most popular, and it's the one I make, all of the like dollars and cents from Spotify, like $2. Yeah, it's real. Let's see here. I need to say hello to a few people. All right. How many cowbells? Oh, okay. First off, what kind of grapes? Oren was eating red grapes because the green ones were not on sale at the store. But as we all know, and as I've said, the best food in the world is crunchy green grapes. There you go. How many cowbells do I have? Thanks, Beth. That's my sister-in-law. I have over 80 cowbells. Insert cowbell joke here. It's true. So hi to Weber, Greta, and Edley. Who else is watching? I think I'm trying to remember people's names. Dexter, are you watching? Bo, Colt. I'm just going to say some random names now. Gertrude, Agatha, Hildegard, Jonah and Bryn. Gotcha. Okay. Tikki Tembo time. Sorry, I'm scattered this morning. It's been I'm sure everyone's feeling that. So Tikki Tembo, No Sa Rimbo, Charibari Richie, Pitberry Pimbo. It's the name of one of the brothers in this story who falls into a well. The other brother's name is Chang. And I'm using this drum to help tell the story because the name is just so inherently rhythmic. There's just such a pulse behind it. Tikki Tembo, No Sa Rimbo, Charibari Richie, Pitberry Pimbo. And because of that, I thought that it was a story to use with percussive storytelling. So here is Tikki Tembo. Once upon a time, it was the custom of all the fathers and mothers in China to give their first sons great, long names. But second sons were given hardly any name at all. In a small mountain village, there lived a mother who had two little sons. Her second son she called Chang, which meant little. But her first son she called Tikki Tembo, No Sa Rimbo, Charibari Richie, Pitberry Pimbo, which meant the most wonderful thing in the whole wide world. Now every morning the mother went to wash in a little stream near her home, and the two boys always went chattering along with her. And near the stream was an old well. Don't go near the well, or in the mother, or you'll surely fall in. Now the boys did not always listen to their mother. And one day they were walking on the well, they were playing on the well, they were bouncing on the well. And Chang fell into the well. So, Tikki Tembo, No Sa Rimbo, Charibari Richie, Pitberry Pimbo ran as fast as his little legs could carry him to his mother and said, Mother, come quick, Chang has fallen into the well. Oh, child, said his mother. Run quickly and get the old man with the ladder to fish him out. So, Tikki, Tikki, Tembo, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Witchy, Berry, Tembo ran as fast as his little legs could carry him to the old man with the ladder and said, oh man, come quick, Chang is at the bottom of the well. And the old man with the ladder just sighed and said, Chang. And he ran as fast as his old legs could carry him. Step over step, step over step, he went into the well, picked up little Chang, then step over step, step over step, brought him out of the well. And he pumped water out of him, pushed the air into him, pumped water out of him, pushed the air into him, and soon Chang was as good as new. Now, for many months, the boys did not go near the well. And after the moon festival, they ran to the well to eat their rice cakes. They ate on the well, they played on the well, they tiptoed on the well, they balanced on the well. And Tikki, Tikki, Tembo, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Richie, Berry, Tembo fell into the well. So Chang ran as fast as his little legs could carry his mother and said, "What's wrong, mother? Come quick! Tikki, Tembo, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Richie, Berry, Tembo's at the bottom of the well." The water roars, little one. I cannot hear you. So Chang raised his voice and cried, "What's wrong, mother? Tikki, what's wrong, wow." Child, what are you trying to say? Rembo, Tikki, he gasped. Pip, Pip is at the bottom of the well. Oh, my son, surely the evil spirits have bewitched your tongue. Speak your brother's name with respect. Now, poor little Chang was out of breath from saying that great, long name that he didn't think he could say it one more time. But then he thought of his brother at the bottom of the well, alone and cold. So he took a deep breath and slowly, very, very slowly he said, "Most honorable mother, Tikki, Tikki, Tembo, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Richie, Berry, Tembo is at the bottom of the well." Oh no, guessed his mother. Run quickly and get the old man with the ladder to fish him out. So Chang ran as fast as his little legs could carry him to the old man with the ladder and said, oh man, come quick. Tikki, Tikki, Tembo, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Richie, Berry, Tembo is at the bottom of the well. And the old man with the ladder ran as fast as his old legs could carry him. Step over step, step over step, he went into the well, then step over step, step over step, out of the well with the little boy in his arms. Then he pumped water out of him, pushed the air into him, pumped water out of him, pushed the air into him. Tikki, Tikki, no saw, Rimbo, Chari, Richie, Berry, Tembo had been in the well for so long because of his great long name that the moon rose many times before he was quite the same again. And from that day to this, the Chinese have always thought it wise to give all of their children little, short names. Yeah, there you go. You also had a lovely cameo from Penny the Poodle. That's the dog from Drum Factory. A wife, 2 kids, and a dog. Yes. Gotta love the dogs. Okay, so if anyone has questions or jokes. Samir, hi. Shout outs, right? Okay, I'm shouting out to Samir. And Isabel. Hi, Isabel. Okay, we have a joke. Okay, here we go. Where does a pencil like to go? This one East Coast people probably would get. Pennsylvania. Oh, that one's going in the dad joke book right there. Thanks for sending that one. Let's see here. Hello to Lee and Yoko. Hi, how's it going? Haven't seen anyone in a while. Woo! Even my kids have left. They're in the other room doing their homework. Get this. They said they'd rather start their homework and distance learning school stuff for the day than to sit through another one of my shows. Oh, poor daddy. Okay, I will end with a couple more jokes for you. What's the best time to see a dentist? 2:30, 2:30. Oh yeah. And oh boy, people are sending in jokes. This is great. I have like lists of them here. How do you get a tissue to dance? Marcello, you'll like this one. Put a little boogie in it. Get it? A boogie? Yeah. Oh man. What's a band director's favorite mint? An instrument. Ooh. Oh, Eric, that is, woo. That's like supreme bad dad joke right there. That's, man. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? I'm worried I'm going to get some deep philosophical answer here. Samira, you have to send the answer to the joke because I don't know the answer. Cross a joke with a rhetorical question. That is the end. Okay, Samir, well played. I told you it was going to be a philosophical answer. Oh, man. You guys are too awake for Monday morning. Wow. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I will be back next Monday with more. I really, really, really appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing. This is how I want to do this. It's not a moneymaker. It's simply an hour for you guys to have some fun, laugh at some bad jokes, listen to some stories. Parents can drink as many cups of coffee as they can and play as much Animal Crossing, what is it? Something camp, Pocket Camp? I don't know. There are these games. Or watch TikTok videos. But seriously, there's no money for this. What I do ask of all of you is to share. If you like it, share to at least 3 people. I don't know. And send me, I don't know, send me something. A picture or a video of you trying to say Eddie, Cutcha, Catcha, Kamatosa, Nanatosa, Noka, Sammy, Kamawaki, Brown. Or Tikki, Tikki, Tembo, Nosa, Rainbow, Chopper, Richie, Pipper, Bimbo. Or make up your own crazy name. See, now that's a good challenge. See if you can come up with your very own Tikki, Tikki, Tembo or Eddie, Cutcha, Catcha. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you all, same bat time, same bat channel, next Monday at 9 a.m. See ya.